Greetings, my name is Nathan and I will be your guide for this world tour of music. Grab your guitar and pocket your passport. We are off to Ireland to spend a little time with Tony McManus and journey into the spellbinding world of Celtic music. From early childhood, Tony's obsessions of traditional music and acoustic guitar worked together to produce a remarkably original approach to the ancient art of Celtic guitar. Hailed by John Renbourn as the best Celtic guitarist in the world, Tony has been listed as one of the 50 transcendental guitarists of all time by Guitar Player magazine. Ready to disembark? Grab your guitar and let's dig in with Tony.
One of the most important aspects of learning any field of music is playing scales. And it can be as tedious as it is fundamental, but it's part of the process. And what I'd like to do is try and combine a couple of the ideas I've just been talking about, this jig rhythm concept and the idea of arpeggiating chords. So let's arpeggiate chords, but in jig time. So there's your D chord with no third. Here's your D power chord. To play that in jig rhythm, bum, ba, da, 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 bum, ba, da, 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 bum. You hear the rhythm? What I want to do is slow that down a little bit and then think about how you would play a scale in that pattern. A scale consisting of chords. So there's your D. The next one would be an E minor. Now I play that, you don't have to hook your thumb over. You can do that. Then maybe a D over F sharp. You have an F sharp in the bass, but it's still a D chord. There's a G. There's an A. You can even play an A sus if you want. So there's an A sus 2 because there's a B 1, 2. There's a B minor. There's a B minor 7. There's an A over C sharp. And then you're back at D. So let's look at those in sequence. There's a D, E minor. Now notice I'm skipping the 5th string. Where I'm trying to get to with this is using these chords and some of these little links in the scale. They will crop up in arrangements of melodies and ballads in particular. So there's your D, E minor, D over F sharp, G, A, B, A over C sharp, D. So there's a whole scale. So let's combine that with the notion of this jig rhythm. And see if we can play that chord progression in jig time as an exercise. So the jig rhythm is that. So there's your D chord. Here's your E minor, F sharp, D over F sharp. Here's your G chord. Here's your A, B minor, A over C sharp, D. And you can mix the picking pattern. It doesn't have to be root, 3rd, 5th, root. You can. That's still jig rhythm. Let me slow that down. let me go through those chords at that speed. D, E minor, D over F sharp, G, A, B minor, A over C sharp, D. Now that was 2 bars on each chord, which seems quite comfortable. Let's try it again. D, E minor, D over F sharp, G, A, B minor. Another thing I was doing there, almost innately, instinctively, is to lean on certain notes. Again, it goes back to dynamics. You don't want every note to be at the same level in terms of volume. You don't just want to play the melody, you want to articulate the melody, which means certain notes have to be front and center. So let's try that again. This is a useful exercise. So we're playing in jig rhythm. You want that to be discernible to the listener the whole time. And as you're doing this, you can choose yourself. Maybe you want to articulate the note on the G string, which is usually going to be played with your index finger. So you want to be able to lean on that note, then maybe that note, then maybe that. You can change it. So there's the D. And I'm leaning on the A on the top string. There's the open E on the top. There's the D on the second string. The open B. And so on. One more thing I was doing, again instinctively, is linking these chords rather than just go through them mechanically. You can, as part of an arrangement of a ballad, say, you would want to be able to link these chords, sometimes through the bass, that kind of idea. Now some of that is playing little chromatic link notes. Some of it is hammer on and then drop down. So that's just a way of playing a scale in such a way that it teaches you a couple of different ideas. One is the jig rhythm, 6/8 time, and the other is having these chord shapes at your fingertips because they're going to be used a lot. So let's go through them just one more time. There's a D, E minor. There's a D over F sharp. There's a G. Actually a G sus. There's an A. If you want to take the first finger off, there's an A sus. B minor. Sounds nice with the top E. Sometimes I'll play that. Sometimes just the 3 notes. That's all you need to define like a B minor 7. Those 3 notes, I use that shape a lot, as you'll see. There's an A over C sharp. It's an A chord with the 3rd in the bass. And back to D. So have fun with those shapes and that rhythm. So I've talked about major scales, I've talked a little bit about minor keys. There's one other very important mode in Celtic music that we need to be aware of. And I'm going to try and illustrate this with a fairly simple tune, well-known tune, called She Moved Through the Fair. Listen to this and think to yourself as you're listening, is this major or is it minor? Now that's She Moved Through the Fair. Well-known song, beautiful lyrics, very poignant piece of music. And of course it's a trick question. It's neither major nor minor. A good way of illustrating the mode that I'm talking about, the technical name is mixolydian. Very profound word. A great way to illustrate is to play that tune in a major scale. It sounds absolutely horrible. What I've changed is all the C's, all the C naturals become C sharps. Now, this is in the key of D, and it's not D minor, because there's not a single F natural in that tune, but it's not D major either. It has a major third, but the seventh is flattened. Let me play the tune again. There you go, that's that C natural. There it is again. All the C's are C naturals, even though it's in the key of D. It's not D major, it's not D minor, it is D mixolydian. And there are modes associated with every degree in the scale, and it's all very interesting, and it's all quite complex, and it's all mostly irrelevant to Celtic music. You could start, one way to generate them is to look at a C major scale on the piano. It's the white notes from C to C. If you start on D, what would you get? You would get a minor scale. That's the Dorian mode. If you're to start on F, you'd get a different mode. If you start on G, you'll get this mode. You'll get a scale. If you go from G to G on the white notes, you'll get a scale with a flat seventh. Now, it's got nothing to do with the key of G. It's to do with the flattened seventh. Now, why is that mode important and not the others? Well, there's a physical reason for it, and that is the great Highland bagpipe. It's precisely the scale of the Highland pipes. The pipes, the music is notated in the key of A, though they play a semitone above that. The music turns out in the key of B flat, but it's exactly that scale with a flattened seventh. And you find that mode all over Celtic music. We have a major third and a flat seven. So that's the mixolydian mode. Very important concept in this music.